So we're living in a culture that has embraced an ideology called critical theory, and from that flows other critical race theory, but LGBTQ is a huge part of that. A lot of people don't realize that.
Should Christians respect or use people's preferred pronouns?
I say yes, as long as you use mine. My preferred pronoun is Your Majesty. No, actually, I don't think so. And I think what you should say to somebody who wants you to use their pronouns is you need to say this. Do you think it is right for someone to force someone else to violate their conscience? And they're probably going to say no, and at that point you can say, thank you, please don't try and force me to violate mine. Because I am not helping you, and I am not following the truth if I lie to you. I care for you, I love you, and I will tell you the truth even if you want me to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Yes. Well, just to add to what Your Majesty said here, I truly believe this is a cultural god. It's an idol. And in the first century, we hear all the stories of persecutions and martyrdoms, these fantastic stories that inspire us so much. But what was probably even harder than that was the daily grind of the little compromises that the Christians were faced with making. For example, one of the earliest creeds in the Christian faith is Jesus is Lord. And that might sound like, well, that's no big deal. We say that all the time. But you got to remember, in the first century Roman Empire, Caesar was Lord. And all you had to do was just go down the line, put your little pinch of incense in the bowl for Caesar. They weren't particularly religious about it. They just wanted to make sure you weren't going to be a traitor to the state. But it was the Christians who couldn't put, this is the little pinch of incense, right? This is the little bow you do to the household God. If a Christian went to someone's house, it was taboo to not just do a little bow, just a little bow. The pronoun thing is the little bow. It's the little pinch of incense. And I'm totally convinced it's a test for us. We have to live by truth and not by lies. We have to be willing to lose our jobs. This man here has lost 2 jobs over his stance on these issues. And God propelled him into apologetics ministry that helped save my faith. So be willing to make the small sacrifices because the big ones are coming.
That's good. Very good. We have a question from Luke. Luke asks, I get bullied at school because I'm not part of the LGBTQ community, and I get put down by the teachers if I say something against that community. What do I do?
Can we just absorb that statement? Yep. I get bullied at school because I'm not a part of the LGBTQ community. So we're living in a culture that has embraced an ideology called critical theory, and from that flows other critical race theory, but LGBTQ is a huge part of that. A lot of people don't realize that. The culture is telling guys like you that white males are what's wrong with our society. Now imagine you're a 12-year-old white heterosexual male. And you know that if you can't do a lot of things, can't change your race, but you can take cover under the LGBTQ umbrella and identify as bi or queer or trans. And now all of a sudden you get to be in the oppressed group, which is the dominant group that's bullying the others. That's where we're at in our culture. And so the kid that's asking this question, good on you. I can't fathom the courage and the boldness that it takes to make the stand you've taken, although I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm not surprised, though, because it's not his or her strength. It's not my strength or your strength. It's the Holy Spirit. I know the Holy Spirit that's in that child, so I'm not surprised. But my advice would be talk to your parents about this, talk to adults, your pastor, your youth pastor. And if it becomes a situation where you need to maybe homeschool or something like that, maybe look at those options. But good on you for standing for Christ, and you're an example and an inspiration to all of us.